good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Tanvi Taneja, and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. Super cyclone Amphan likely to make landfall this afternoon between Digha, West Bengal and Hatia Islands, Bangladesh. NDRF deploys 41 teams for rescue and relief operations. Around 4 lakh people evacuated from 7 districts of West Bengal. 12 coastal districts of Odisha put on high alert. Prime Minister lauds Ayushman Bharat healthcare workers as number of scheme beneficiaries cross 1 crore mark. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 39.62% in the country. And railways to run 200 non-AC trains daily in addition to Shramik special trains from 1st of June. Indian Meteorological Department IMD said that super cyclone Amphan is likely to make landfall between Digha, West Bengal and Hatia Islands, Bangladesh, close to Sundarbans between this afternoon and evening, with maximum wind speed of 155 to 165 km per hour, gusting to 185 km per hour. It is very likely to move north-northeastwards across Northwest Bay of Bengal and cross West Bengal Bangladesh coasts between Digha and Hatia Islands close to Sundarbans during this afternoon or evening. The maximum sustained wind speed is likely to be 155 to 165 km per hour, gusting to 185 km per hour. Met Department said landfall process will commence from this afternoon. After landfall, the system is likely to move north-northeastwards close to Kolkata. Heavy to very heavy rainfall occurred at isolated places over north coastal districts of Odisha and heavy rainfall over coastal West Bengal during the past 24 hours. Gale winds speed reaching 100 to 110 km per hour, gusting to 125 km per hour prevailed along and off north coastal Odisha districts. Briefing media in New Delhi, Director General, National Disaster Response Force S.N. Pradhan said a total of 41 teams have been deployed for West Bengal and Odisha. Director General NDRF S.N. Pradhan has said lakhs of people have been evacuated in Odisha and West Bengal in view of the cyclone Amphan. Updating on the cyclone, Mr. Pradhan said rains and wind have picked up in coastal Odisha. He assured people that the authorities are prepared to provide humanitarian assistance and undertake relief activities in the fallout of the cyclone.
Near Paradip, where it is in excess of 100 kilometers, but it has not yet picked up in Bhadrak and Balasore, which are supposed to be the impact districts of Orissa, and it is likely that the wind and rain will pick up sometime later in the afternoon. Very late in the afternoon, it probably will hit the West Bengal coast of South Chowbis Pargana and the island of Kakdweep and Sagar. The worry is, at this point, the possible storm surge which has been predicted by the IMD. The waters could rise 4 to 6 meters.
Director General IMD Mrityunjay Mohapatra said this is the second intense super cyclone after 1999 and IMD is continuously monitoring the situation. Speaking exclusively to All India Radio News this morning, he informed about the current situation of the cyclone.
कि अम्फन एक सुपर साइक्लोन है। मैं आपको ये जानकारी दूं कि 1999 के बाद जितना साइक्लोन बने हैं बे ऑफ बंगाल में, ये सबसे इंटेंस साइक्लोन रहा है। सुपर साइक्लोन के बाद ये सेकेंड सुपर साइक्लोन है 99 के बाद। सुपर साइक्लोन को अभी मॉनिटरिंग के लिए हम सभी टूल्स एंड टेक्नोलॉजी यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं।
In West Bengal, around 4 lakh people have been evacuated from 7 coastal districts of the state in view of super cyclonic storm Amphan, which is likely to lash this afternoon. The state government has taken all necessary precautionary measures to meet any eventualities. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has reviewed the situation with the district administration through video conferencing. Here is a report from our Kolkata correspondent.
The super cyclonic storm Umphan is likely to cross Digha in West Bengal during this afternoon to evening today with maximum wind speed of 155 to 165 km per hour. After landfall, it is likely to move towards north to northeastward close to Kolkata. Under the influence of the super cyclonic storm, Kolkata and adjoining coastal districts are experiencing rains since last night. Special vigil has been kept at Sundarbans, Seatown, Digha and Bokhali, Sagar Island, Hingalganj areas. Besides Coast Guard, BSF, SDRF, Disaster Management Force, 21 teams of NDRF have been deployed to meet any eventualities. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is keeping a close watch on the situation from the State Secretariat. Besides districts, a special control room has also been set up at the Secretariat to monitor the situation. Power Department has taken special measures to maintain uninterrupted power supply. Met Department has issued advisory that shops and establishments in Kolkata and adjoining areas may be closed and public movements may be restricted as the super cyclone may pass close to Kolkata. Arijit Chakraborty, AIR News, Kolkata.
In Odisha, in view of the approaching cyclone, the 12 coastal districts have been put on alert. State administration is taking every possible step for effective management of the situation arising out of the possible cyclone. A report.
Approaching cyclone causes uprooting of trees and poles in some part of coastal districts. Likewise, some districts experiencing heavy to heavy rainfall. Speaking to AIR about the current situation of Amphan, the regional director of Indian Meteorological Center, HR Vishwas, said,
साइक्लोन अम्फान अभी 120 किलोमीटर ईस्ट ऑफ पारादीप में है इसका सेंटर, 150 किलोमीटर साउथ साउथ ईस्ट ऑफ दीघा का है। इसका प्रभाव हमारा उड़ीसा में हुआ, सुबह से स्टार्ट हुआ है और अभी साइक्लोन का मूवमेंट नॉर्थ ईस्टवर्ड है। ये वेस्ट बंगाल का सुंदरबन का क्लोजली लैंडफॉल करने का चांसेस है आफ्टरनून व इवनिंग आवर्स में।
Though Odisha government has aimed at zero casualty during Amphan, the 3-month-old baby boy allegedly died as the wall collapsed at the Kampada village in the Tihri block of Bhadrak district. The mishap took place in the house while the minor child came under the debris and died. This is said to be the first casualty in the state due to Amphan. On the other hand, Odisha government has evacuated around 1 lakh people to the cyclone shelters. Itishri Singh Rathore, AIR News, Cuttack.
The Navy is on high alert for cyclone relief efforts on the East Coast. The Eastern Naval Command, ENC, is on a high degree of readiness to render necessary humanitarian assistance. Naval ships at Visakhapatnam are standing by to proceed to the most affected areas to undertake humanitarian aid, distress relief, evacuation, logistic support, including providing medical aid. Additionally, 20 rescue teams with Gemini boats and medical teams are also kept ready for augmenting rescue and relief efforts in Odisha and West Bengal. Naval aircraft are also ready at the naval air stations to undertake reconnaissance, rescue and casualty evacuation if required. The Eastern Naval Command is monitoring the developments in the Bay of Bengal closely, and naval officers in charge of West Bengal and Odisha are in constant communication with respective state administrations to augment rescue and relief operations as needed. The Met Department of Bangladesh has asked Mongla and Payara ports to hoist the highest level of danger, Signal 10, which signifies great danger even as super cyclone Amphan moved to around 400 kilometers from these ports. The Chattogram and Cox's Bazar ports will continue to hoist danger level 6. Medical teams, relief workers and volunteers are working in the 19 districts of Bangladesh likely to be affected by the cyclone. Amphan is the first super cyclone to hit the region in more than 20 years after the 1999 cyclone. Now let us take a look at the weather today. In New Delhi, minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be 42 degrees Celsius. The national capital is likely to witness strong surface winds during the daytime. Mumbai will witness partly cloudy skies with minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and maximum temperatures remaining around 33 degrees Celsius. Down south, Chennai will see partly cloudy skies. The temperature will hover between 31 and 40 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the city will be 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be nearly 37. In the north, Jammu will witness minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature will be 36 degrees Celsius. The city will see mainly clear skies. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be 7 degrees Celsius, with the mercury rising to a maximum of around 22 degrees Celsius. The city will observe mainly clear skies, becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 15 and 27 degrees Celsius. Skies will be mainly clear, and it may become partly cloudy towards afternoon or the evening. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be mainly clear, with minimum temperature of 14 degrees Celsius and the maximum around 30 degrees Celsius.
The number of Ayushman Bharat beneficiaries has crossed 1 crore, and in less than 2 years, this initiative has had a positive impact on many lives. In a series of tweets today, Prime Minister congratulated all the beneficiaries and their families and prayed for their good health. He appreciated doctors, nurses, healthcare workers and all others associated with Ayushman Bharat. He said their efforts have made it the largest healthcare program in the world and has won the trust of the poor and the downtrodden. Mr. Modi said one of the biggest benefits of Ayushman Bharat is portability. He said beneficiaries can get top quality and affordable medical care, not only where they are registered, but also in other parts of India. He said this helps those who work away from home or are registered at a place where they don't belong. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the visionary Ayushman Bharat scheme. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said, providing free treatment to 1 crore people in 19 months under Ayushman Bharat is a record in itself. He said it has turned out to be the most successful and the biggest healthcare scheme for the needy. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said a total of 42,298 patients have cured from coronavirus and the recovery rate has reached 39.62% in the country. During the last 24 hours, 3,124 patients have recovered and 5,611 fresh cases of COVID-19 have been reported, taking the total number of cases to 1,06,750. A total of 140 deaths have been registered in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide death toll to 3,303.
The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that a total of 108,121 samples of coronavirus were tested in the past 24 hours. The figure of total number of tests reached 25,12,388 in the country. Meanwhile, the ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. As of now, 391 government laboratories and 164 private laboratories chains have been given approval to conduct the test for COVID-19. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Super cyclone Amphan likely to make landfall between Digha, West Bengal and Hatia Islands, Bangladesh. NDRF deploys 41 teams for rescue and relief operations. Amphan to make landfall this afternoon. Around 4 lakh people evacuated from 7 districts of West Bengal. 12 coastal districts of Odisha put on high alert. Prime Minister lauds Ayushman Bharat healthcare workers as number of scheme beneficiaries crosses the 1 crore mark. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 39.62% in the country. Railways to run 200 non-AC trains daily in addition to Shramik special trains from the 1st of June. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle AIR News Alerts.
Union Railway Minister Piyush Goyal said Indian Railways will run 200 non-AC trains daily from 1st of next month. In a series of tweets yesterday, the Railway Minister said online booking will start soon. These trains will be run in addition to the Shramik special trains, and Indian Railways is planning to double the number of Shramik trains to bring more relief to the migrant workers. The Railway Minister said in future, number of Shramik special trains will be increased on a large scale. Mr. Goyal added, state governments are requested to help the workers and register them with the nearest station. They are then requested to give the list to the railways so that railway workers can run special trains. The minister said workers are requested to stay in their place. He assured that Indian Railways will take the workers to their destinations. Our correspondent reports that more than 21,50,000 migrants have been transported to their home states through Shramik special trains in 19 days by operating more than 1,600 of such trains. Speaking exclusively to All India Radio News, Railways Executive Director Rajesh Bajpai has said that registration of persons travelling via Shramik special trains is essential. He said that this information is essential for contact tracing in case of any of these persons are infected by COVID-19. He added that Railways is currently running 180 trains per day and seeks to increase the number of Shramik special trains. The Union Home Ministry has issued a revised Standard Operating Procedure SOP for the movement of stranded workers by train. It has asked states and union territories to coordinate with the railways to ferry stranded migrant workers to their homes. According to the SOP, movement of Shramik special trains shall be permitted by the Ministry of Railways in consultation with the Home Ministry. All states and UTs should designate nodal authorities and make necessary arrangements for receiving and sending such trains. The train schedules, including stoppages and destinations, will be finalized by the Railway Ministry based on the requirement of states and UTs. After finalizing, Railways will communicate to states for making suitable arrangements for sending and receiving such stranded people. The SOP said that sending states and union territories and railways will ensure that all passengers are screened and only asymptomatic passengers are allowed to board the train. During boarding and travel, all passengers will have to observe social distancing. On arrival to their destination, the travelling passengers will have to adhere to the protocols prescribed by the destination states and union territories. Union Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank launched a new mobile app named the National Test Abhyas. This app has been developed by the National Testing Agency, NTA, to enable candidates to take mock tests for the upcoming exams such as JEE Main and NEET under the NTA's purview. The app has been launched to facilitate candidates' access to high-quality mock tests, as there was a demand for making up the loss to students due to the closure of educational institutions and NTA's test practice centres. Students across the country can use this app to access high-quality tests free of cost in a bid to be fully prepared for the upcoming JEE, NEET and other competitive examinations. The tests can be easily downloaded. Speaking on the occasion, the HRD Minister said this timely launch is designed to ensure that no student is left behind in getting exposure to practice testing.
The Centre has notified the reduction in statutory rate of contributions from 12% to 10% for wage months period from May to July 2020 for all class of establishments covered under the Employees Provident Fund and the Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952. Earlier, the government had announced to reduce the rate as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Ministry of Labour and Employment in a statement said that the notification in this regard is available on the homepage of the EPFO website. It said reduction in rate of EPF contributions from 12% to 10% of basic wages and DNS allowances is intended to benefit both the 4.3 crore employees and the employers of 6.5 lakh establishments to tide over the immediate liquidity crisis to some extent. Director General CII, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, has welcomed the Atmanirbhar Bharat package announced by the Finance Minister last week. He said the reforms will boost progress in health and education sectors and boost the economy.
Honorable Finance Minister has also strategically targeted the package for the poor, and this is very, very important, building health and education capabilities and also unleashing tremendous power of industry to contribute to employment as well as for national development. The reforms in the MSME sector, the agriculture sector, the power sector are indeed very, very transformational.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. Anant Mohan, head of pulmonary medicine AIIMS, has advised people not to take medicines like hydroxychloroquine or anti-malarial without a prescription from a doctor.
Please do not take medicines such as azithromycin, other antibiotics, antivirals or hydroxychloroquine or other antimalarials without a proper prescription by a doctor. Do not self-medicate.
Jacinta Gunjrial, Senior Nursing Officer AIIMS, has stressed on the need to break the chain of infection.
Social distancing is a non-pharmaceutical infection prevention and control intervention to break the chain of infection.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its live phone-in program Samvad today will bring you a special program on railways where listeners can ask questions to experts related to special passenger trains on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. Repeat 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444. Repeat 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 7:10 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also listen to us on the News on AIR app. In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring listeners our segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. A video of a woman with an infant travelling between train bogies is circulating on social media, wrongly stating them to be migrants trying to go home during the lockdown. The PIB fact-check has clarified on Twitter that this is an old video dated from 2016 from Bangladesh and not India.
In Madhya Pradesh, there are 229 new cases reported in the last 24 hours in the state. As a result, the number of people infected with coronavirus in Madhya Pradesh has increased to 5,465. A report.
The death toll from COVID-19 has also increased to 258 in Madhya Pradesh. The maximum number of 103 patients has died in Indore. Good news is that 2,630, more than half of the patients have been cured in the state so far. The highest number of cases, 2,637, has reported in Indore district. Besides Indore, Bhopal has 1,046 cases, Indore has 362, Burhanpur 194, Khandwa 186, Jabalpur 184, Khargone 114 and Dhar has reported 107 cases. Apart from Indore, higher death toll has reported 48 in Ujjain, 39 in Bhopal and 11 deaths reported in Burhanpur. Coronavirus positive cases were reported from Rajgarh and Singrauli for the first time, taking the number of affected districts to 47 of the total 52. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Karnataka, inter-district movement of buses have resumed since yesterday. Karnataka State Transport Corporation operated 1,606 buses yesterday and transported 53,476 passengers to different towns in the state. The South Western Railways has run 97 Shramik special trains for migrant workers in the past 2 days. 13 more trains are scheduled from Hubballi and Bengaluru to Rajasthan, Bihar and other northern states. Under Vande Bharat mission, Muscat, Bengaluru and Mangaluru flight will arrive today with over 170 passengers. More from our correspondent.
After lockdown relaxation, Bengaluru city is back to normal with roads buzzing with traffic, standalone shops are open and city bus operator BMTC is offering skeletal services. Industries and other establishments are working at 50% capacity. Long queues were seen outside parks which are opened after 2 months. The state government departments combating the coronavirus are concentrating their energy on the containment zones. There are about 126 containment zones across the state where no economic activities or movement of men and material are allowed in 100 meters area. Outside the containment zones, all the activities are near to normal now. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In Kerala, under the Vande Bharat mission, 9 flights carrying over 1,000 expatriates is scheduled to arrive today. 6 flights are from the Gulf region and others are from London, the Philippines and Russia. Our correspondent has more details.
Flight from London carrying stranded Indian nationals arrived in Kochi today morning. After detailed medical screening, passengers were sent to respective quarantine centers. 2 more flights will be arriving in Kochi today, one from Manila and another from Dubai by late evening. Flight from Kuwait carrying 166 passengers and flight from Russia carrying 106 passengers is scheduled to arrive in Thiruvananthapuram today night. 2 flights will be arriving in Kannur today, each from Riyadh and Muscat. Kozhikode is also expecting expatriates' arrival from Salala and Muscat today. Meanwhile, as part of the relaxations in lockdown phase 4, the intra-district bus service began from today by the Kerala State Road Transport Corporation. Intra-district waterway transport also started from today. Meanwhile, Chief Minister's office informed that the 10th and 12th standard remaining exam stands postponed and the new dates will be announced later as per the centre's guidelines. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
The Bihar government has taken the decision to set up quarantine centres at the panchayat and village levels. Pratya Amrit, Principal Secretary of the Disaster Management Department, said this decision has been taken in view of the increasing number of migrant workers in the state. About 6 lakh migrant labourers have been kept at block-level quarantine centres. Workers coming from Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Surat, Ahmedabad and Kolkata will be kept in these camps for 14 days.
Maharashtra Chief Minister informed that so far 1,972 citizens have returned to Mumbai under the Vande Bharat mission and the government has taken stringent measures to quarantine them. Another 27 flights are to land in Mumbai in the coming days, carrying Indians from across several countries. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
So far, 653 people have landed in Mumbai from London, 243 from Singapore, 150 from Manila, 107 from San Francisco, 107 from Dhaka, 208 from New York, 201 from Kuala Lumpur, 195 from Chicago, 2 from Kuwait, 12 from Kabul, 78 from Ethiopia, and 16 from Muscat, Oman. People belonging to Mumbai are being quarantined in local hotels while arrangements are being made to send people from other districts and states to their respective places. People from states who are not permitting such travellers to return too are being quarantined in Mumbai hotels. Meanwhile, Maharashtra Police has informed that the total number of COVID positive cases in state police has now gone up to 1,388, including 948 active cases, 428 recovered cases and 12 deaths. The total number of cases in state now stands at 37,158. Sonali Ghadar Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Kargil, Ladakh, to ensure foolproof implementation of the home quarantine, the designated surveillance officers and duty magistrates have been conducting random surprise checking of people under home quarantine. The team of officers monitored the daily surveillance of residents, students, as well as returnees from different parts of the country and foreign countries.
In Tripura, in an effort to strengthen healthcare services, the state government has decided to set up a 1,000-bedded COVID-19 facility centre at the Tripura Industrial Development Corporation (TIDC) exhibition centre at Hapania in Agartala. One PHC in Unakoti district has also been identified for setting up a 20-bedded COVID centre. In Himachal Pradesh, with the arrival of residents from various parts of the country, the positive cases of COVID-19 have been continuously increasing in the state. During the past 24 hours, 14 new cases have been reported. A report.
During the last 24 hours, 14 positive cases of COVID-19 have been registered in the state. The maximum number of 11 cases have been reported from Kangra district today itself. All these people returned from Mumbai and have been kept in institutional quarantines. On the other hand, one positive case has been found in Kullu district, which was in green zone till now. The total number of COVID positives in the state now stands at 104. Of these, 47 have been cured while 50 are active infected patients. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
In Uttar Pradesh, the new set of guidelines were issued by District Magistrate of the Gautam Budh Nagar area today. The guidelines issued by the Gautam Budh Nagar DM, Mr. Suhas LY, are on the lines of rules laid down by the state government 2 days ago, with some minor changes. AIR Lucknow correspondent reports that as per the guidelines, any kind of movement except for essential and emergency services will be prohibited from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the district. One of the most important guidelines for movement across the Noida-Delhi border, the situation will remain unchanged as new instructions have been asked from the government on this point. Public parks will be allowed to open from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning and from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening. People going to these parks will have to ensure social distancing, wear face masks, and also these parks will have to be sanitized from time to time by the authorities. Apart from this, at public places, people will have to wear masks compulsorily and strictly follow the guidelines.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Super cyclone Amphan likely to make landfall this afternoon between Digha, West Bengal and Hatia Islands, Bangladesh. NDRF deploys 41 teams for rescue and relief operations. Around 4 lakh people evacuated from 7 districts of West Bengal. 12 coastal districts of Odisha put on high alert. Prime Minister lauds Ayushman Bharat healthcare workers as number of scheme beneficiaries cross 1 crore mark. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 39.62% in the country, and railways to run 200 non-AC trains daily in addition to Shramik special trains from 1st of June. And with that, we end the midday news.